Well, good evening from the world's most famous unknown author. Let me put a little light on the subject. Hallelujah. Well, you've given me so much of your precious time in the month of April and part of May. It's been an amazing experience to be doing this. And sometimes it only takes one of you to give me the encouragement I need to keep going, because I know I have to. I know God told me to, and I have to. But self-motivation is very difficult. And when you don't have anybody in your immediate household, you don't have even a lot of people giving you a lot of feedback. This is personal to me. It's very personal. I'm sharing my life with a world of people I don't know and who don't know me. So we're getting to know each other through my eyes and through your words too. Some good news. My YouTube channel works. Not for me, but I was told it works, and it is. My website lady, God bless Nikki Garcia, God bless you. She's wonderful. She uploaded all my readings to my YouTube channel. So if you want to be maybe the second or third person who ever goes to it, there's a lot of information, not just all my readings in order, but there's a lot of information about my bout with COVID and how the monoclonal antibodies helped me. There's other interviews with the health department, HIV issues, other things. I mean, there's a lot on there. Most of them I uploaded from my cell phone because I didn't have the software in something to be able to make my own videos, so she takes care of it. But my readings are all on there, as well as a lot of other really good information. I did go to susanmintz.com, my website, and it's really good. I mean, I don't go to it very often, but it is. It's got so much there, and it's just information. The files from my readings are a little mixed up, where it says Susan Reads Committed to Love. We're tweaking that, but everything else is wonderful. The photos, just the short story version, interviews. So please go to my website and check out the books page, the media page, About Jeffrey page, contact me page, photos. It's a really great website. It's had to be changed a little bit all these years, but it says exactly what I wanted it to say and do what I wanted it to do. Get to you, feel me, share my journey. It's really a good site. As I said, YouTube channel's up. And other than the fact that if I should ever get married, this guy's going to be an IT person who's also a handyman. Because I don't do this technology stuff. Can I buy it? Yeah. But then do I know what to do with it? No. And passwords, absolutely. I have so many. I write them down, but they're not right. Thank you, Nikki. So that's wonderful. But if I did ever get married, I need a handyman and an IT guy all in one. But it's not going to happen, so I shall remain a widow, devoted to, committed to love. So I thank you all for your time. I know some of you just view for 5 minutes and move on, and others absolutely are intrigued by this. The lady who talks into her phone every night and says, God told me to do it. Yeah, I did. So again, God bless you. And before I do forget, my mommy's gone. She's lived to be 92, and we were so close. She was beautiful, and I had the luxury of spending a tremendous amount of time with her. Please, if you have a mom left, make up if you have a problem. Life's way too short. Make up with your mom. You don't have to do all the fancy stuff, a phone call. But just if you have anything that's not right with your mom, please make it right while you have time. I know a lot of my life I keep saying I really didn't appreciate it. If I cry during certain times, it's only because in my heart I'm being honest. And that's what some of you have said, is that I'm genuine. I could bring Oprah to tears if I had the opportunity. But it's real, and I am. And I'm not playing games with anyone's life, including my own. So make up with anybody and everybody, because you don't know who's who, what's what, and when they're going to come around again. One of you is going to connect me, I know, to the world in the series, in a movie. You are. One of you out there is going to do it. And I don't know when, and I don't know how. But as long as I can keep talking into this little phone, I went on my iPad today to do a survey for the car. I got a Nissan, another one. And finally, after 16 years, the widow broke down and bought a car. So I had to do a survey. I had to go on my iPad. I said, well, I'm on my iPad. I think I'll look at Facebook. Boy, I'm telling you, the bigger the screen, stay small. Much better. Wasn't that bad. I thought it would be worse. It was good. So now, getting back to the reading. Yesterday's reading, I'm going to finish up chapter 15 and go into 16 today. So I have plenty of time to do it, which is what I care about, because I'm not going to rush. I rush with too many parts of my life. I'm not going to rush with this. Stay on if you want, go away if you want, come back another time. That's it. My Facebook page is open to everyone. My YouTube channel is open to one person if they want it. I laugh because actually there's a few people that checked out some things before I knew what I was doing, which I still don't know what I'm doing. And then my website is beautiful. The last time I read to you, I told you about our trip to Italy and the experience we went through when the car broke down and he was ill and the reservations at the... It's all been about, again, focusing, prioritizing, staying organized. Everything on that trip ended up being so crazy, but yet then the flip side is it turned out being the best 2 weeks we ever had, with all the inconveniences, with all the things I worried about and we worried about. On May 4th, 1994, my birthday, I was in Amalfi, Italy with my husband, the love of my life and my best friend. We laughed and we cried a lot, but we shared 25 years of memories. Here we go. After returning home, we agreed on repeating this one paragraph, and we will get on to the rest of this one. It took weeks after we got back from Italy. It took weeks for him to regain his strength. His resistance was low, and he had a constant low-grade fever, but he wanted to take another trip. That was the man I was married to, the one who wanted to do one more thing, go one more place. I was the one who was so protective and overly cautious about everything. He lived, loved life. What I loved about him. He was the opposite of so many ways than I was, but yet they were so alike. He was a senior class president at American International in Springfield, Mass. It was his 25th year high school reunion, college reunion. He got his bachelor's, and he sent out invitations to all his fraternity brothers. It was a private party going to be in a suite at the hotel, and he was going to be the keynote speaker at the reunion, the 25th year reunion. So we sent out all the invitations. We went up to Albany. We stayed with my parents for a few days, and we drove to Springfield. And right before the party, he developed a fever of 102 and had diarrhea. And I kept saying, Jeffrey, please cancel the party. It's not worth it. You don't have to do this. We can make we can come up with a reason why, but not this guy. We stopped to get supplies for the party. By the time we got to the hotel, this is his 25th year college reunion. Invitations were out. Hotel was taken care of. He had lost weight, but when he got dressed, he looked still incredible. We bundled him up with a sweater underneath his suit. You'd never know. Nobody knew until we had to tell anybody. And I can keep saying that. The best kept secrets are the ones we should tell. They'll eat you up. He had 102 fever, and I thought you were getting a bacterial infection and begged you to cancel the party. Here's where I stopped. You said you would not change your plans. You took 2 Tylenol and bundled up under several blankets. An hour later, you broke a sweat that drenched the sheets. You asked me to get dressed and be the perfect wife and hostess because your fraternity brothers, would arrive soon. You were feeling better, took a shower, and when you came out, they never suspected a thing. You were as handsome and charming as your friends remembered 25 years ago. And I played my part well and had become very good at hiding the truth along with my feelings. I was good at this. I kept a secret for decades. It wasn't unless through my writing of my journals that kept me sane, and then doing a book, and even reading now, that I'm keeping my sanity, that I have you to talk to. I have me to talk to, and you out there who I don't know, but who know me real well. Strangers I have never met yet. I was really good at hiding the truth along with my feelings. It was a wonderful night, and your speech went well, and at 1 a.m. we collapsed in bed. You spiked another fever, took 2 Tylenol, and broke a sweat at 4 a.m. You woke up early and went to the college to visit teachers and colleagues. The formal black tie dinner was tonight, and you were the keynote speaker. It would be difficult to me to pretend that nothing was wrong because you were definitely not feeling well. I didn't know if you would make it through the night. But as you gave your speech in front of 150 classmates, you were incredible. God, I hope, Jeffrey, you're sitting in that chair in the spirit, and I hope you're looking down also at me and saying, keep doing it, Suze. Keep doing it. But it's because there's people out there who just may need it even though they don't know they do. They may need what I'm saying even though they don't know they do. But you gave your speech in front of 150 classmates, and you were incredible. How could someone so deathly ill be so inspiring and have that much control? As we said our goodbyes, we knew we accomplished something that had to be done. You went back to the hotel, seriously ill, and we flew home from Springfield the next day. So was my life. So was my life, up and down and all over. But what I would give everything I had for one more day. I'm going to take a break in a moment and get a Kleenex. Dee, I forgot my Kleenex. Oh, wait. Wait. Where's that good mask when you need one? See, Penny? I did this one for you. Penny said she hadn't laughed so hard since 2018 when I grabbed the mask and used it as a tissue. So, we went back to the hotel. He was seriously ill, and we flew home from Springfield the next day. We went immediately to the hospital, and you were diagnosed with your 3rd bout of pneumonia. Quote, we gave up everything, but we gave up nothing. End quote. From June 19th, 1992 until August 17th, we enjoyed many. How many people doing this stuff live is going to be using a face mask to wipe their tears away? This is real. Anybody that doesn't tune into this, you don't understand real. Go talk to the Kardashians. They're sure that's real. Making a fortune on nothing. From June 19th, 1992 until August 17th, and not to say there's anything wrong with the Kardashians. God bless them. They're helping people whichever way they can. I'm not saying anything bad about anybody, but there's not that many people who are going to do this with a face mask in their home. But from June 19th, 1992 until August 17th, 1994, we enjoyed many wonderful trips. We learned to adjust to the challenges as we lived with AIDS. We worked around the disease, and we rearranged our life as it progressed. We cherished every moment knowing that the only thing we could control was the way we handled this time. We learned to be flexible and didn't hide our fears. This illness tested us at every level and could have either destroyed us or made our relationships stronger. I knew one thing for sure. We were a great team. In the end, we proved to ourselves that we had beaten the odds, and we won. Because, think about it, we were kids, I got pregnant, had a miscarriage. He's bisexual. AIDS comes along. I mean, you have to go to the short story on my website. Go into the books. I got to read the short story if you don't want to stay tuned to 24 riveting chapters of ups and downs. If you like drama, if you like The Notebook, or you like the greatest love stories, mine's perfect. If you don't like love stories, you are not going to like this one. But I always say, too, that the bad times will test you. Money issues, health issues, children's issues. Either the bad times are going to make you stronger or they're going to rip you apart. We could have been ripped apart so many times in our marriage, but somehow we worked through them. And here it is 30 years later, I'm still working through stuff. Yep, I would do it all over again. I know one thing for sure when I read this back to myself later. Always keep one around when you don't have Kleenex. The illness tested up. Can you imagine what this movie or the series is going to be like? You won't want to leave the house for days. Instacart will be your best friend. The illness tested us at every level, and we could have either destroyed us or made our relationship stronger. I know one thing for sure. We were a great team, and we were. In the end, we proved to ourselves that we had beaten the odds, and we won. Chapter 16. You keep learning a lot about Jeff and my relationship as we go on. It's not all grab the mask and Kleenex. You're going to learn an awful lot more about our relationship and why it was so good in so many ways. Chapter 16. Jeff comforted me. I comforted him. We comforted each other. Quote, many times it was impossible to determine which one of us was the caregiver or which one was the patient, end quote. I think many of you can relate to that if you've gone through anybody with a long-term illness or you've had to deal with a family member or a friend or a parent and you've had to give care and take care over someone. You don't know who's supporting each other. I comforted him, he comforted me, and we comforted each other. Didn't know sometimes to determine who was giving each other the comfort, but we did it together. These journals were very difficult to write, but look what happened. I'm talking to you now. Chapter 16, Dear Jeff. I have a few more minutes and I have to get into this chapter. We hated studying and were terrible students in high school. It was our junior year in Troy High School. Thank you, Troy High School. And we were the only Jewish kids to fail 3 subjects. Physics, chemistry, Latin. I think I failed 4. We had to attend summer school, and if we didn't pass all the subjects, we would not have graduated the following year. How's that for Dr. Jeffrey Amons and his wife? We were the only Jewish kids. We hated studying and were terrible students in high school. This makes me happy. It was our junior year, and we were the only kids to fail 3 subjects. We had to attend summer school, and if we didn't pass all the subjects, we would not have graduated the following year. It was the summer of 1963. God, I feel like this is Dirty Dancing, that movie. It was the summer of 1963. We were 17 years old and spent all our time together studying, talking, and laughing. It was Dirty Dancing. It was the summer of 1963. We were 17 years old and spent all of our time together studying, talking, and laughing. It was one of the best summers of my life. Summer school brought us together and solidified the friendship that continued over the years. In 1990, when I wrote my cookbook, you laughed at me, and I wrote an incredible cookbook. You laughed at me because you couldn't understand how someone who didn't like to read could be such a good writer. Some gifts are good, some gifts are not. I'm not a techie. I'm a great writer, and I'm a pretty good speaker. And I definitely am a great secret keeper. In 1990, when I wrote my cookbook, you laughed at me. All right, it was called Safe Sex Never Tasted So Good. And I was the naughty cookbook lady of Boca, and everybody knew me. 2 years later, he was diagnosed with AIDS, and that journey ended. But yes, I wrote Safe Sex Never Tasted So Good. You can Google it. I think it's still on Amazon. No, I don't sell it. I'm not that lady. But you wrote my cookbook. You laughed at me because you couldn't understand how someone who didn't like to read could be such a good writer. I said, quote, "It was a gift that somehow just happened," end quote. I still do not read. I'm still not a reader. But on June 19th, 1992, when I started journaling, I learned to become very comfortable with a dictionary and a thesaurus. My writing has enabled me to come to terms with difficult issues and handle my personal problems. It is also, that's the ice maker just went off if you hear them thumping. It's not the man upstairs, it's my ice maker. I'm in my house, my little house, my little condo. My writing has enabled me to come to terms with difficult issues, writing, and handle my personal problems. It has also given me the comfort and support I needed when no one or nothing else could. Write. Pick up a piece of paper right now and a pen, or take your laptop, or take your iPad, or take your phone and write about today. Write something about today, and then write about tomorrow, and then just keep writing. Get it out of your head. That's where my problem's always been. I don't have a heart issue. I have a head issue. Since you have taken, and I do, that's my worst place. Get it out. Since you have taken ill, there are two words that I find myself thinking about quite frequently. These words are comfort and support. When I looked their meaning up, comfort and support, I found out that these words can mean the same thing and are interchangeable. Comfort is a verb, means to give hope, to console, or show sympathy and compassion in times of fear or grief. Let me say that again. Since you have taken ill, there are two words that I find myself thinking about. If I repeat something, it's because I'm telling you in my heart, listen, listen. There are two words that I find myself thinking about quite frequently, and you will deal with this. Not me, you. These words are comfort and support. When I looked their meaning up, I found out that these words can mean the same thing and are interchangeable. Comfort is a verb, means to give hope, to console, or show sympathy and compassion in times of fear or grief. Comfort is a noun, means a state of ease or well-being, encouragement, help, or support. Hear me. Comfort as a verb means to give hope, to console, or show sympathy and compassion in times of fear or grief. Comfort as a noun means a state of ease or well-being, encouragement, help, or support. Over the years, we shared these meanings many times, both together and independently. At times, we were uncertain which one of us was the patient or the caregiver. Until the situation presented itself, we never knew which one would be the stronger of the two. As partners in a marriage, there were times when we needed to comfort each other. If our marriage was a give and take, there were times when one of us gave more than the other one did. If the words commitment and marriage means sharing both the best and the worst of times, then we definitely, unconditionally comfort and supported each other through this difficult period. And whether we were giving or receiving comfort, both of us did a lot of both. I'm stopping here. Another reason why I keep saying for many of you that you may not be into a love story or a drama, it's not the point. We're talking about issues, so many issues that are in life issues. You don't choose them. You choose how to handle them, but you don't choose what stuff's going to come along. It just happens. For me, it was very hard. My life has not been easy, though I can make it look easy. This book will tell you it's not been easy. I'm not a marriage counselor. That was Jeffrey's forte, but I feel like that last reading is that in a marriage, when you take those vows to comfort, to be married, good times, bad, sickness, and health, that was so much more commitment to God in my marriage vows than it was to anything else. But it was the friendship that sealed me with Jeffrey. It was definitely our friendship. So, if you do go to my YouTube channel, there's an awful lot about COVID that I wrote about during that time. And I keep relating this time in my life to COVID because so many of you, 1 million of you in this country, lost someone to COVID. Therefore, you had to give care, comfort, support, encouragement, hope, and faith to someone or someone to you. Hear my words carefully. Don't let one day go by where you haven't told someone you love them before it is too late. That's the one thing I know. We told each other we loved each other dozens of times a day because we did. Don't let a night go by, a day go by, without telling someone you love them and mean it. So this was a really great half hour. A little crying, a little smiling, a little counseling, mostly for myself. I don't know what I would do if I wasn't doing this at 5:30. My hospice book is going to be also so powerful because the stories are great. They're not sad. There's nurses' stories and caregiver stories and patient stories. But why I could relate, and I think why I could relate to anybody today, is because when you go through life, nobody escapes. It's no free pass. It's doing the best you can with the tools you have at the moment, If you don't have a screwdriver, you can't use a hammer. Oh, I guess that was profound. I'm going to enjoy tonight reading myself back later. I want to say thank you again. Tell your mothers you love them and make up with them if you got any problems. And if you don't have a mom, look up and say, Mom, I loved you. Mom, I gave you my best. Mom, I hope you're at peace. And Mom, I hope you're proud of me. I know my mom is proud of me. So, I shall say, thank you, Joanne. I don't know who else is on. It says bring them on. I don't know what to do. I'm lucky I can put the light on. I want to say shalom, hello, and shalom, goodbye, and shalom, peace. As we say, shalom, goodbye to this Shabbat, and may my Christian brothers and sisters tomorrow have a peaceful Sabbath. To all of you out there, God bless you. Be kind. Be a little more patient. And call someone. Tell them you love them. I thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for letting me just tell you my story. I'm going to finish up. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow night at 5:30.